Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now. India versus Australia, second T20I in Nagpur. Another big ground, AJ. And perhaps, as Rohit Sharma said at the end of the first T20I, that we need to answer these questions, and it was a good game. We had learnings from it, and they need to implement those learnings really quickly.
Yeah, I wonder what learnings he's talking about, because what would he? I mean, looking at that game, what is different that we could do? You had a choice between Bumrah's the only one, and he's, as we said, it must have been because of the niggle or whatever there is.
Okay.
It's not because of quality. Otherwise, the batting order remains the same. The new guy who's come in place of Ravindra has done exceptionally well, so you're fine there. So it boils down to just back to those seamers. So, probably same problems that we had at the last World Cup. We're back, the full circle, and we're still at the learning stage. So, it's for me today, it's been very difficult to figure out what learning is Rohit talking about today.
Yeah, but the one thing that he mentioned at the toss was that Jasprit Bumrah might be available. So he definitely walks into India's squad. So that is India's 11, sorry. And that is one change, of course. Do you see any other changes?
No, if he's in, who goes out? And at this point in time, it has to be Umesh, because they have to give Bhuvi as much of a chance, because finally Bhuvi is in our World Cup squad. They have to keep trying him, and that's I think important. The other thing the only change I would think of doing is saying that, does Ravichandran Ashwin get in a game instead of Yuzvendra Chahal?
Yeah.
Do you put Ashwin instead of Chahal and at least try Ashwin out, give him that opportunity? Because if he's going to be again in your squad in Australia, you want to, at least those 15 guys, you want to give them as much of an opportunity as possible.
Would you try him in Nagpur, AJ? How's the track? How does the track usually behave in Nagpur?
Yeah, the track's pretty good there. I mean, it probably doesn't come on as nicely as this. More bounce, not more as much skid here. It's the red soil there. So you get a little more bounce. Spinners will have a little more purchase than they've had here. But Ravichandran Ashwin, again, it's like Rishabh Pant for me. I mean, there's no question in my mind as quality of spin bowling. If Ravichandran Ashwin is in your side, you'd always play him. But if he hasn't played today, I doubt that he'll, play him in that very next game. But that's the call. I mean, look, once we've gone with this captain and coach and team, so you've got to think how they will think. I think that's why I doubt that Rohit will make a change, except for Bumrah if he's fit and he comes back in Umesh's place. And he'd like to keep things stable now. Whether it's the captain, whether it's the coach, or, the atmosphere there. Because now one change that you make, you say you leave out somebody now, it not only affects that one person that you left out, it affects the person that you brought in, because he's been sitting out and waiting for his turn. So then he sees this guy who was, the number one guy for so long, you've left him. So that adds pressure on him, and not just on him, anyone else who's also in that side who's a bit iffy, then that pressure gets added on to them as well.
Yeah,
so the captain has to think for many more people than just that one change. And Ravichandran Ashwin is a class bowler. He will come in and play when it's required in the World Cup. I have no doubts, because don't forget, Ravichandran Ashwin wasn't even part of this T20 setup before Rohit Sharma became the captain.
Yeah,
so he's made that call. He's brought him all the way back. He's kept him in that side. So I think he's going to unleash him at a different time. And so maybe I think it's too early. Okay. He should have been playing. I mean, he's a bowler of his class. Not playing is, actually questionable. But I doubt that he will play him in the next game, because he knows what he's doing.
Let's have a look at Australia's squad then. They've won the first T20I in quite some fashion. And they'd be saying, we're not changing anything here. Joy, or perhaps maybe bring in Kane Richardson. They were one full bowler shot towards the end of their bowling in the first T20I.
Yeah, generally Nathan Ellis, Kane Richardson. I mean, it'll be swapped one for the other.
Yeah.
If they've gone with Nathan Ellis in one match, and because Cummings, Hazelwood, Zampa, these are all again regulars who need an opportunity. And remember, no team has played as much as we have for the last year in terms of T20s.
Yeah.
So they are a comparatively rusty side. They haven't played that much T20 cricket. They will give their regulars a chance.